episode of GMFL with yours truly, Ori. I just want to thank all of our listeners who's been tuning in for the past 3 weeks. We appreciate you guys, especially on IG, Facebook. You guys have been showing love, commenting on our pages, and I've actually heard some testimonies as well from some people that heard the show and told me. So shout out to you guys that are listening and are actually applying these things in your lives. So we thank you guys. If you're a new listener, we would like to welcome you to the show, welcome you to the podcast. It's a great podcast, especially if you are looking for wisdom, if you're looking for things to apply in your life as a young man, young woman, as a young adult. It doesn't matter, an adult, an old person, kids. This podcast has it all for you guys. So welcome. You're in a great place, safe place. And today I am excited because I do have our first guest for the podcast on with us today, and her name is Doodridge. We have been friends for a very long time, and it's a pleasure for me to have her on the podcast to bless the stage. So let's welcome Doodridge. I would like to start off with 3 questions. Well, a question that has 3 answers for you, right? So what are 3 interesting fun facts that you would like to share with us that someone may not know about you, so you can introduce yourself to our audience?
Wow, 3 fun facts.
3.
Not just 1, 3. Okay,
3,
I'm in the spot. All right, it's okay.
1.
My first one, I'll say it's always hard for me to find a way to introduce myself.
Introduce yourself. Okay.
Yeah, that's the most simplest
you're doing
thing.
it right now, so let's do it.
Listen to it. Like, if somebody were to ask me what's your name, it's hard because my first name is challenging. It's pretty difficult for a lot of people. It's good. You know, the good thing is you pronounce it pretty right.
Right. I've known you for a while.
I know, right?
I better be able to pronounce it.
It would have been a shame.
On the podcast.
Yes, I know. So, my first name, a lot of people have a hard time pronouncing it. So I've been called by my last name for a very long time. It's now some people call me Mimi and some call me Meme. The thing is, I don't have any issue with whichever one.
Right.
Like whichever one you're comfortable with, sure. But sometimes where it becomes challenging is when I have a friend that already introduced me and I'm not sure which one they use.
Which name? Like,
I don't know if it's Meme or Mimi. I'm like, Meme or Mimi, I'm not sure which one they introduced me to. So that's one of mine. But my full name is Doodridge Meme Dorson. Right. So the second one, I'm the only child.
Only child.
Yes, only child in the building. And my husband's also.
Only child. Solo dolo.
Yes.
Well,
I refuse to have the only child. Okay. God, please bless me with more than one.
You want more than one because you want to break that trend, right?
I didn't like it. Some people think tough. It's fun. It's so you get everything, but
you could be a little
you're that
bored.
only one.
Right.
So
you could be bored sometimes, especially if your family's not big. If it's just you and your parents and your cousins or whatever.
That's true. I was the only one. So the pressure was on. The pressure was on. So my third one, I'll say, let me give my favorite color. I'll say it's blue.
Blue. Which shade of blue though?
It depends.
It depends on what? What does it depend on?
Depends on the day. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Depends.
So
sometimes I like dark blue, navy blue.
Navy blue.
And sometimes it's the very light blue.
Light blue. So I'm pretty sure when you're feeling like a queen, you go with the royal.
That's
royal
right.
Blue.
That's right. You get that right.
Yes.
That's it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing those 3 interesting fun facts about yourself as your friend. As one of them, I guess. I'll say the color one I didn't know, so now I know to myself. So I'm learning. That's what we do on the podcast.
Right.
So today we have a great topic for our audience, for the listeners, for the viewers today. So we're still in the book of Proverbs. So we're gonna continue with chapter 1, and today is verse 10 through 19, and I can't wait to get to talk about it. So let's read the scripture so we can have a point of reference for us to start the podcast. So it says, when bad men try to cause you to sin, my son, do not do it. Simple, right? Do not do it. They may say, come with us. We'll find someone to kill. We'll attack people that have not done anything wrong. When we find them, they may be alive and well, but when they will be dead when we leave them. We will get lots of valuable things and we'll fill our houses with them. Come and join us. Our money will be your money and your money will be our money. My son, do not go with people like that. Stay away from them.
Run.
They cannot run away, run away. They cannot wait to do something bad. They are always in a hurry to kill. The bird that you want to catch may be watching you, so do not show the bird how you will catch it. In the same way, these men want to kill other men, but in the end, they will die themselves. This is the end of everyone who kill people to take things from them. That person will die himself as a result.
Wow.
That verse right there, man. It has everything in it. Everything. So we're talking about bad company today.
Wow.
I'm not talking about, when you have people come over your house and, it's like, bro, like,
it's a terrible
there's
guest.
no hospitality, or the guest is just being like crazy. Like, it's like, oh, I can't wait to leave, or I can't wait for this person to go. So not that company. I mean, not that one. We talk about one that's more severe. Obviously, we live in a world where, there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people that's doing bad things out there. We can't shut our eyes to that, know? So it's just, that's why we need God. That's why we need Jesus. That's why he came, so we can change. Because without him, all of us are in the same boat. Like, we're all the bad company. We're all those people that are looking to kill, looking to steal, looking to do whatever we can to make sure we good at the expense of somebody else. So thank God for salvation. Thanks Jesus for coming to, changing our heart, that we are spreading love. We're spreading, a message that's against killing, versus a message that's saying, let's kill, let's kill, let's kill. So we don't talk about bad company today. The first point is actually what you should do if you are placed in a position where there is bad company. Like, what's the advice from Solomon? He says to stay away. It was simple, man. Stay away. So with that being said, I do have a question for you. It's, what advice would you give someone who has been faced with pressure from peers about engaging in bad activities?
Good question. That's a good question. My answer is, the wise man already said it. Right. Solomon. The book of Proverbs. That's one of my favorite books, because it's real. It's just full of wisdom and plain and simple. Stay away. Stay away. Run for your life, because we're living in a society where it's easier to do the wrong thing. It's more comfortable to do the wrong thing. Especially now. One of my things is when somebody's going through something, or one of the memes that I see sometimes, somebody is drowning and then someone taking recording it instead of helping the person. So it's like, it's that pressure of just want to be recognized and but it's the best thing is really to run away and just walk away. It's easy to say than done, because when you face with pressure, with peer pressure, it's easier to just like, oh, let me just do like everyone else. Let me just follow along. But it's best to walk away, because there's always consequences. There's always consequences, and you don't want to deal with those. So it might be the best thing to walk away from the situation.
Walk away. Thank you. That was great, man. That was great. And I agree. You have to just walk away. You have to walk away. So I'm going to share some experiences that I've had in my life when I was younger about this. And I also flip the question to you when I'm done sharing. Is you'll just, share some experiences that you've had where you had pressure from people to do something that you necessarily didn't have to do. So mine was middle school and high school too. That's where you get a lot of the pressure. In elementary school, you probably didn't care. You're like, man, I'm just gonna do this, whatever. In middle school, you start to kind of care about what people are saying about you or how they're living their life. You're like, oh, this guy's cool. If he's cool, he does this. That's probably how he got cool. Let me do it too. So mine was cursing, which I knew from my parents, like, I'm not supposed to do it. They raised me not to curse. They raised me to be respectful. Even if I'm talking to somebody my age, young people, just still be respectful to them as well. And also sagging, which is still a thing now, but I feel like when I was younger, it was much more of a thing. Maybe because I was faced with that pressure of doing it. Now I don't care. I don't do it. So I'm like, whatever. I don't even notice it on people like that. But that was the two things that my parents was like, you're not going to do that when you go to middle school or high school. You just not going to curse. You're not going to sag. What you see these other kids are doing, don't do it. That's not how we're raising you. So obviously they telling me that is one thing. And then me going to school and seeing them cursing and sagging and it looks cool or whatever is a whole nother ballgame. So I had to come to, the conclusion for myself and make a decision and say, what do I want to do? Like, do I want to fit in with the crowd and sag and, whatever? Obviously there's moments where I did do it. I'm like, I'm just trying to sag or whatever. You try to go home, you pull up your pants, or, you say a couple curse words here, even though it didn't feel comfortable to you because you wasn't raised around it. So, that one was not hard for me to let go, but it was still something I had to battle because my parents wasn't cursing at home. So I wasn't around an environment that encouraged it anyway. So it was easy for me to be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But eventually I had to, make a decision to not do that. To just basically don't curse, don't sag, and do my own thing. So that's basically my experience. I'll just, like I said, flip the question to you. What experiences did you have yourself growing up, or even recent or whatever, that you felt like, oh man, these people want me to do something that I'm not, it's not good for me, or I don't have to do, but they're pressuring me to do it.
Yeah, that's something I think I faced with a few times. I'll say in the workplace. I'll say just in society alone. Because sometimes there's certain things that they want you to do that's the norm, quote unquote, but those brings a lot of pressure. And also, one of my personal experience I had was when I was in high school, and there was something that I wanted. I wanted this thing. I can't remember what exactly it was, but I wanted whatever. At first, I didn't though. That was the interesting thing. At first, it was like, I didn't care for that. That's not me. Then it's like, as time goes, I'm seeing more students coming to school looking cool. I'm like, what about me? Yeah. And then I went home to my mom. I'm like, Mom, can I get this? She's like, no, you can't get this thing. And I was upset. I was angry. I'm like, why? That I don't like this. Those, when you get those tantrums. Oh, I never. Yeah. And then that's when she's like, remember what I always taught you. That's one of the things, like my mom good with Proverbs.
Proverbs.
Just like the book of Proverbs.
Right
then one of the Proverbs if I can translate it, hopefully it's correct way, is if you see everyone's hopping in their 2 feet, you hop on one. Because that's give you time to reflect. That's give you time to just, So I was like, I didn't understand it. And at this point, I didn't care. I just want that specific thing. I can't remember what it was. But I didn't get it. But I was pressured. At first, although I didn't want this thing, but it was just become to a point like, I feel like I have to have this in order to fit in with everyone, in order to meet that, whatever that criteria was. And it wasn't something that I have to have. And then even when as you was reading the passage, it was clear. It's like, how they were talking, let's go steal,
let's go do this. Let's
kill
plan
this
it
person.
out.
Let's plan it all out. Let's kill this person and we take everything they got.
Take it back.
Exactly. It feels good, right? It's all coming home to me. I'm going to fill my house. Oops. Sorry, dude.
They work hard for it, but
but I'll take that. This will it'll look better at my house.
Right.
But the book of Solomon, like the book of Proverbs, it says, no, stay away from people like that. So that was my experience.
That's good.
It was pressure though. It was a lot of pressure.
I feel you.
And then going to my mom, it was like a lot more pressure because I already knew my answer, but I just still have to do it.
Because she's the one that's going to get it.
Exactly.
So you had to ask. That's good. All right, cool. So we're going to hop into our second point for this one. It's basically in the same scripture when we're talking about taking someone else's thing, which was basically the value or the valuables, which would be like money, right? So you taking their money, which the second point is money is the root of evil, right? Yes. We've heard that. If you're a Christian, you've definitely heard that before going to church. Like, money is the root. Like, I used to think money was bad in itself, like the money. Like, you want to mess with money, but money itself is not bad, but the love of money, right? If you love it too much, it is the root of evil. So my question to you is this: what would be the most valuable material possession that you would ever want if you could have it?
Oh, that's a real question that I don't have the answer to.
You don't have the answer to it, right? That's crazy because some people.
That's real.
Some people would do a lot of things. Like, I remember the commercial, right? What would you do for a Klondike bar? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like, it was crazy how you would see people do crazy things for it. But the same thing with money. Like, people would do a lot of crazy things for money.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think let me just dream right now. Having a home that I'm really comfortable with. Okay. That's one. Okay. The second one, because right, I have to have that second vacation home, like somewhere that has, I don't know. I just want it to be somewhere where I can experience all 4 seasons, because I've been in Florida. Yeah. I only see summer. Yeah. Summer all year long. All year. So I would love to have something like that. I think it would be very I will enjoy something like that. It'll be nice to go to my vacation home, like stressing out. Okay, you know what? I'm going on vacation, and then just go to my vacation home and enjoy that whatever season at that time. So I would love that.
Got you. All right.
What about you?
Me, what would I?
It's a real question.
Valuable. I think obviously, it would be really valuable to have a really great home. I'll diddle that probably because we're married people, so
I know.
You know our conversation. But they're like that's, we gotta get this home. But obviously, I would love to have that, and also in that home, I would love for it to have like a crazy studio, a crazy recording studio.
I knew you was going there.
A crazy, like all like recordings and videos and audio, all that.
Let's claim it.
Yes, I'm claiming it right now. So that's what I would love to have if I could. So, a great home where it's spacious, we're good, we could have guests over, and you have your own office, your own studio, whatever you want, right? So my other question to that is, what would you be willing to do to get those 2 homes, like your home you're comfortable with and the home where you get to be in somewhere where you experiencing all the different seasons,
right?
Would there be something? Would there be a line that you wouldn't pass, or would it be like, nah, I'll do whatever?
All right. I'm gonna give you. Lately I've been seeing those memes. I'm sorry. I enjoy interesting memes. One of them is, would you slap your friend?
For what?
My home.
That's
so
too
would
easy.
I slap you for my home?
That's too easy.
That's
of course
a good question.
I'm probably double slap me. I need those 2 houses.
I'm sorry, but can I just slap you? I just did this home. That's the first thing that comes to mind as you ask that question.
They're interesting.
But in reality, it would take a lot of hard working. Right. That's like the real truth. Right. Like if we're playing around, I'll slap you to get this home. Right. Like the book, like as you was reading the verse, I would kill this man and take the money.
Take their money and do what
sell everything they have so I can have my home.
Yeah.
So but in reality, for me personally, it would take a lot of work.
Right.
Like I'll have to work extremely hard to earn this home. Yeah.
So you're gonna do it the right way.
I'll go the right way because it's always end up well. If I go the other way,
we already know what happens, right?
Not the slapping part. You probably will forgive me eventually. But if I go the other way, kill this man, take the money, I will end up in prison.
Yeah. It's not worth it. It catches up.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna go crazy like that, man. I'm glad I'm not of the mindset that I'll do whatever. Even though I do want the home,
right?
It's valuable. It's something that you really want. But I know that life is way more precious than that. To take somebody else's life away for me to get that,
it's not worth
that's
it.
not the way. So I definitely co-sign with just working hard.
Yeah.
Earn it. And then that way, it's more valuable to you anyways, right? Because you have to work so hard for this. So you enjoy it more. You're like, oh yes, thank God, all that hard work I did, I'm finally enjoying it. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. So cool. We're gonna jump into our next point, which is sin leads to destruction. So as the verse said, those people that kill people, there's something coming for them. Like it's not like you just kill people and you're good.
Yeah.
Like the same way that you did it is probably the same way you're gonna die as well, So the question is this. I know I said sin leads to destruction, but can it really lead to destruction? Do you think that it really does? I remember before you share, I remember of course hearing this in church growing up. It's a thing they say about sin. Like when you first start, you don't want to do as much.
Right.
Like you didn't really plan to really go all crazy like that. But when you take that first step and stepping out in disobedience to God, where you end up at the end of the day is way, way far than you imagine like you would ever end up. You thought it was just gonna be just this right here, and that's
You're
it.
done,
I'm
right?
done. I'm not gonna even do that again. But by the time sin is done with you, or you're like, bro, I don't recognize who I am.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, would you say that sin does lead to destruction, and what type of destructions do you think it leads to?
It destroy you. Sin will destroy you. Like you said, when you first try it, whatever it is, it's like, oh man, I feel bad. Like, I feel terrible about it. It's like, oh, what have I done? And then you pray for forgiveness. Like, Lord, I'll never do this again. I'll never do this again. And then you try it again. And then you feel bad, but it's not as much as the first time.
Right.
And as time goes, as you continue to engage in that specific sin, and you get comfortable. And then as you get comfortable, you just feel like home. And then when you finally realize how far off,
how deep you are,
you're like, who am I?
Right.
Where am I?
Right.
You don't even recognize yourself. And it's not a good feeling. And it's not a good place. But sin do destroy, like it can destroy someone.
Right.
And then to find your way back,
only God can get you back.
God.
Yeah, and I could think of, like, there's certain people that that deals with certain sin that are addictive. Like, it could be pornography, or that's one of the topics. That's the reason why pornography is like selling so much, because a lot of people are addicted to it. A lot of people are watching it.
Right.
So it's something that you might be like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this movie, or I'm just gonna look at this picture. Now Instagram is like crazy, right? You got the IG models, and all that stuff.
Right.
All that crazy stuff that's going on out there. So when you initially started this thing, it wasn't even about watching pornography. Maybe you just wanted to. It's the lust of the eye, right? You just wanted to see something that you thought was gonna make you feel good, and then that didn't make you feel. That didn't fulfill you.
Right.
Like, so you had to do more. You got to do more. You had to, and the thing about that is, it will never fulfill you. Like, you don't care how much you do what you do, it will never fulfill you, because that's not the point of it.
No.
So God has an answer for that. It's not for you to be lustful, but it's for you to basically. He didn't create for people to be by himself, obviously.
No.
He created people for us to be together,
Right.
which is why we have marriage. And it's in that marriage that you can enjoy those things, like where you're not watching pornography, but you're able to, have your spouse and whatever, right? So you live together, you experience life together, you have fun, you go out, you vacation in those homes you're talking about, and you enjoying all that stuff. But you won't find that in pornography. You won't find that in the picture. You won't find that in anything else that you're seeking for, that same thing that to fulfill your life, to make you happy. I'm truly happy. So,
and also one thing it has been really a lot more challenging today. I feel like growing up, just in general, a lot of things, when you look at the Word of God, a lot of things that the Bible said do not, now those are the things that's like, oh, it's okay. You can do that. You can watch pornography. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do this. It's fine. Like, all those things. And it's heartbreaking, because the more people are hearing these things are okay, they feel like,
just do it.
Maybe it is okay.
Yeah.
And then they try it, nothing happened.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
When we look at the Old Testament, things happen here and there. Like, look at
people died for touching the ark.
Instantly, yes.
Like, he was trying to protect the ark from falling.
Instantly. And then that couple.
To touch it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They were supposed to give to the church.
Supposed to give to the church. They sell everything they had, and then they come to the church, but they lied about it.
They pretended they was
giving everything, but it was not everything. So immediately. So I guess today when people look at it like, oh, let me taste this. Right. It didn't kill me, so I guess it is okay. So I think it's in that way, and then not only to that, also when you're not feeding your spirit, it's easy to just fall right into this trap of the enemy, and he's ready. Like, he just set up those traps and sit there and wait. And then it's really challenging. Like, if believers, if you're not focused, if you're not in your words, if you're not praying to God every time, the moment your eyes open, you just ask God, cover me, because out there,
it's crazy.
It's a lot. It's heavy. It's a lot going on. So we have to shield. We have to cover it. And God didn't send his son to die for us to just enjoy sin. He will forgive me. Let me just that's not. I just act that was not it at all. That's why he gave us the Spirit. A lot of time when we do something wrong, we get that conviction.
So that's good. That's good. All right. So now we'll transition from that point, which we know sin is definitely going to lead you to destruction.
Kill you.
Right. And the last point is the price of your soul. Right. So
Ooh.
we wouldn't kill for, our possessions, right? Because we ain't, nah. But what about your soul? Like, because the enemy's after our soul. So the question is there a price tag that you would say that you would place on your soul that if someone could meet this price, they can have it? Like, if they can give me this, they can have my soul.
Let me tell you, I've done that already. I've sold
it.
It's gone.
You already have it anymore.
It's gone. All honest, I've sold my soul.
Right.
To God. Because that's the only thing, that's the only person that can have my soul.
Right.
No one else. Like, when you look at today, people willing to do anything. Like, if it's like, oh yeah, you want my soul? So I can have this house, that dream house I was talking about? Oh yeah, you can have it. They're not thinking. The soul is
so precious, right?
So precious. They don't understand it. But my soul, it belongs to Christ.
Right.
So
it's
done.
That is good. That is good, yo.
What about you?
For me, yeah.
To get this house in the studio.
Nah, man, it's not worth my soul. It's not worth my soul. Because it's not. You know what I was created for? Everything that I have comes from God.
Amen.
So I feel like not only it's like He had to basically buy it back because it was already His, but He sent His Son to buy it back again. So I'm not gonna play with that. It's already His. It's in His hand. But I do know that there's people that definitely struggle with that. Where if someone were to walk to them right now and be like, I will give you, $5 million, or I don't know, maybe your price tag is even more or less than that. And they were like, what I gotta do for that? Oh, I just gotta sell my soul. Like, just don't worry about God or my soul. That's it. Oh, okay, bet.
Sure.
You can have it. I just want to live this life. And I've seen movies. You probably seen movies or shows or whatever where someone did do that, and at the end it's always like, can I get it back? Like, it's always like, I regret doing this. Like, why did I do this? Why did I do that? So to just wrap it up, like, Solomon was just giving young people, or old people could take this advice too, but from the scripture it said he was talking to a young person. He was saying, if you see these people doing these things, like, stay away from them, because what is it? It's that verse that says, what is it worth that somebody would profit everything in this world, right? And they would lose their soul. Like, it's not worth it, So if you could have all the richness of this world, all the glorious things, all the money, all the valuables, and then at the end when you die, you can't take them with you.
No,
you can't. And your soul does not perish. Like, it's eternal. So it's gonna be eternally happy or with God, or it's gonna be eternally tormented or away from God. So it's your decision of how you live your life on earth while you are alive that will, basically tell you, okay, what's gonna happen, when it's all said and done. So there is absolutely no price tag for us, right? For our soul is sold to the Lord. I am sold out. My life, my mind is made up. I'm done. All right. There's nothing anyone can give me. Right. And it's crazy too, while we on that point, I know it's not in our notes or anything, but when you think about it, it's what the devil was trying to do with Jesus when he was tempting him, right? So he was like, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, I'll give you that. And all he wanted back was probably his soul. Like, for him to be like, you're a ruler over me or whatever, right? So, but the thing about it is, God creates all those things. Like, what is he giving us? He's not giving us anything that our God cannot give. Like, so whatever anyone could offer you that you feel like God can't give it to you, it's not true. Like, there is nothing that anyone could offer you that can outdo God. No one can outdo God. So if you sell your soul to the Lord, right, which is His anyways,
it is His.
Just believe that whatever your desires are, according to His will, He will give it to you. He will absolutely give it to you. Yeah.
As you mentioned, when the devil went and tempted Jesus after as he was fasting for 40 days, that's one thing I always like. All these things he was offered belong to him. So that's why it's so easy sometimes when he comes to us. If we don't know, if we don't know our value, if we don't know our worth, we'll easily give our soul to someone that have no business of having it, because we own everything. We are the children of God.
Who
like
owns everything.
Our Father owns everything. It's just like my dad owns something, it's mine. So it's the same way. It's like the enemy will come to us with things that we already own. We have to know who we are in Christ. We have to know our value. We have to know our worth, because if not, we'll fall right into his trap.
We'll fall right into it. Man. All right, so I just want to thank you for coming on to our podcast, as our first guest. And man, I got more than I thought I was going to get. You definitely brought some great points to us and to our listeners. I know those who are listening, you'll definitely be blessed by this episode right here. So once again, we want to thank you for coming through, Miss Doodridge, Mimi Dorson. I'm going to throw all your names out. I don't know if you want to, shout anything out, or if you want to say anything to our audience before we wrap up.
I want to say thank you for having me. I enjoyed this. This was awesome. I love doing things like that. I love talking about the Word of God. I love people. I love company. So I really have a wonderful time, and I really pray that you continue.
Yes.
And God will bless you. And I've been enjoying all your videos so far, and they've been great. Like last week, it kind of like when we was talking about the parents, it brings me back to that moment with my mom.
Right.
Her raising me, and then how today I'm seeing how those things, how her work, the reflection of it, and I enjoy it. So thank you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. And then we've been friends for so long. And then I love how you bring this specific. I come along with that specific topic
today,
and it's like you influence me in a positive way. There is that bad company, there's also that good company
as well.
I mean,
I would say vice versa,
man, big time. There are times that I want to be like, forget certain things, like I'm done, I give up, I finish, and just look at you working so hard. It's like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't be friends with someone that's flourishing, and then here I am, I'm slacking off. And then spiritually too, as well, just looking at your life, and it inspired me, and I thank you.
Thank you. All righty, so I do want to take this time to just recognize a shout out that we got from one of our listeners. Julie, she hit me up this past week after listening to episode 2 and was able to make an impact on a young person while listening to the podcast on her walk. She texted me. She was like, hey, this just happened. I was able to talk to this young person, and they were able to receive what I said to them because their background was someone probably planted something there because everything was yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Even though he was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, but she did catch it. She spoke to him, and he was like, yes, ma'am, I understand. That is awesome, man. So we're wrapping up right now with our 3rd episode, man. Man, if you have not yet subscribed to YouTube, if you're not on the IG page on Instagram, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on Anchor. We're everywhere. So if you don't hear us, it's because you're not trying. All right. So go ahead, try a little harder for us. Go ahead and subscribe on those different platforms. We can't wait to hear from you. Once you hear the episode, just comment, DM us. We're here. We listen. We write back. All right. So it's great. This is the reason why we're starting this, is to help others, right? So we like to hear if we are helping. We would love to hear it. So guys, stay blessed. Definitely tune in next week as we are dropping episode 4. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss any episode, guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and have a wonderful day.
Yes.
God bless.